If you think back to the late 1990s and early 2000s, you might remember the era-defining pop sensation, NSYNC. Amongst the glitzy choreography and infectious melodies, JC Chasez stood out, not just as a talented singer, but as a figure of composure and creativity within the group. However, beneath the polished surface of his public persona lies a more complex psychological landscape, shaped by the pressures of fame and the roles he had to embody. Today, we delve deep into this enigmatic figure through the lens of the Enneagram and the dark psychology that often accompanies stardom. At the heart of JC Chasez's public image lies the archetype of the performer, a role that resonates with the Enneagram Type 3, the achiever. Type 3s are driven by a need to succeed and to be admired, often masking their true selves to align with the expectations of others. In JC's case, his pursuit of excellence and his commitment to his artistry seemed to reflect a deep internal motivation to prove his worth and maintain his place in the limelight. But what exactly was he chasing? Perhaps it was the affirmation that comes with recognition, a validation of his identity and talents that the public eye could provide. The fame machine, however, is a double-edged sword, creating a pressure system that rewards certain behaviors while punishing others. Within the pop industry, the demand for perfection is relentless, with each member of a boy band often cast into specific roles: the heartthrob, the shy one, the bad boy. JC was often seen as the serious artist, the technical mastermind behind the scenes. This role may have reinforced an internal narrative of being the responsible one, the one who had to keep everything in check, a narrative that could both empower and constrain him. Behind the scenes, the group dynamic of NSYNC was both a source of support and tension. As part of a tightly knit ensemble, JC's relationships with his bandmates were crucial. They were allies in the performance, but also rivals in the quest for individuality and distinct recognition. This interplay echoes the Enneagram Type 9's wing influence within JC, the peacemaker, who seeks harmony yet struggles with personal inertia and self-neglect. The dichotomy between public mask and private pressure is profound. On stage, JC exuded confidence and charisma, embodying the image of a consummate professional. Yet, the demands of this role could have led to a disconnect from his true self. The public often saw the polished, poised entertainer, but behind closed doors, the weight of constant scrutiny and expectation could take its toll. This is the shadow aspect of the achiever, where the gift of adaptability can become a trap, locking an individual into a persona that may not fully align with their inner truth. In exploring this duality, we might question, what costs are associated with maintaining such a public facade? For JC, the very traits that brought him fame could also have isolated him, creating barriers within personal relationships and his own self-concept. The integration path for a 3 involves moving towards authenticity, embracing vulnerability, and shedding the layers of performance that obscure genuine self-expression. As we unravel JC's journey, we must ask ourselves, where do we see these patterns in our own lives? Have you ever felt like you needed to adopt a role because the world loved the role more than it understood you? Perhaps you've worked tirelessly to prove something, only to find that the real challenge is staying true to who you are beneath the surface. By reflecting on JC's story, perhaps we can uncover insights into our own quests for identity, validation, and the courage it takes to be authentic. In the end, JC Chasez's story is not just about a pop icon from the 90s. It's a narrative of identity, of grappling with the external pressures of fame while navigating the internal landscape of self. His journey invites us to reflect on our own lives, to question what masks we wear, and to consider the roles we play in our personal and professional spheres. As we explore these themes, let us also explore ourselves, seeking the balance between who we are and who we wish to be. In JC Chasez's narrative, the struggle between the public persona and the private self is not just an abstract tension. It manifests in tangible, everyday experiences. Imagine the moments off stage, where the applause fades, and JC is left with the silence of his own thoughts. Here lies the true crucible for the achiever, when external validation is absent and one must confront the internal void it leaves behind. The Enneagram 3's core fear of being worthless can create a profound inner conflict. It's a fear that whispers, suggesting that without success or admiration, one's value diminishes. This fear can drive individuals to relentlessly pursue achievement, even at the expense of personal well-being. It is not uncommon for threes to become workaholics, their self-worth tethered to their productivity and accomplishments. For JC, this may have been exacerbated by the relentless demands of the music industry, a world that thrives on external metrics of success. Yet, within this turmoil lies the path to growth. For JC, and indeed for any three, the journey involves shifting the focus from external validation to intrinsic worth. It's about redefining success, not as a measure of public acclaim, but as a journey towards authenticity and self-acceptance. Shadow integration plays a critical role in this transformation, requiring one to embrace and understand the parts of oneself that have been suppressed in the pursuit of perfection. There are moments in JC's story that serve as pivotal points for this integration. Consider the times when he may have paused to reflect on his motivations, questioning whether the relentless drive was serving him or merely a manifestation of his fears. In these moments, the opportunity for growth lies in acknowledging the shadow, the insecurities and doubts, and allowing them to inform a more holistic self-concept. This is not a path easily tread, as it demands vulnerability and courage, qualities that the achiever may initially resist. Moreover, JC's journey invites a deeper exploration of the universal human condition. How often do we find ourselves caught in the cycle of proving our worth through external accomplishments, only to realize that true fulfillment is an internal journey? The narrative of the achiever is one that resonates broadly, reflecting a societal preoccupation with success and image over substance and sincerity. In examining JC's interactions with fellow band members, we can see the dynamic interplay of different archetypes. Within the ecosystem of NSYNC, JC might have assumed the role of the hero, striving to lead and excel, sometimes clashing with other archetypes like the trickster or the mentor. These interactions would have provided a mirror, reflecting back the parts of himself that needed growth and integration. The hero's journey, as articulated by Joseph Campbell, involves not only the outward quest, but an inward transformation. For JC, the real journey lies in transcending the limitations of the facade and embracing the authenticity of his inner world. This transition from the hero to the mentor, someone who guides others with wisdom gained from personal trials, is a profound transformation that many threes undergo as they mature. In the broader context of fame and celebrity culture, JC's experience offers a poignant meditation on the cost of maintaining an image. The spotlight can be both illuminating and blinding, revealing certain truths while obscuring others. The pressure to conform to public expectations can be overwhelming, creating a disconnect between the persona and the person. Yet there is hope in the integration process. By embracing vulnerability and authenticity, JC can dismantle the barriers that fame erected around his true self. This journey requires a departure from the safety of the known, venturing into the uncertainty of the authentic self. It is a path that calls for resilience, self-compassion, and the willingness to be seen beyond the veneer of success. Ultimately, JC Chasez's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of profound internal and external challenges. It reminds us that the quest for identity and authenticity is universal, and that in embracing our true selves, we find not only personal liberation, but a deeper connection with others who walk the same path.